Hi guys, we're not starting just yet. I just wanted to see a couple of
Stand by.
First, we're going to start off with a prayer by Pastor Newman. He's from Ash Street Baptist Church. I keep turning my head. He's going to lead us in prayer. And then we're going to have Anthony Williams come behind us, the mayor. Sorry. I call him Uncle Anthony, but he's our mayor. And introduce some more people for us. So thank you all so much for coming out, guys. I'm so blessed right now. Definitely.
But God, we still believe that your name, Father God, reigns forever. We still believe, God, that you have power, Father God, on high. And we still believe that you can do all things but fail. God, here we are, Father God, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, men, women, boys and girls. God, here we are standing together, seeking your able assistance, God, asking you, God, to help us. Help us, God. Oh, God, how can we say that we love you and we've never seen you and hate the ones that we see every single day? God, how? How can we live the life that Martin Luther King died for? How, God, can we walk and talk with each other without love? Without unity?
Boy, look at this crowd. Look at this crowd. You know, this is not a person of color thing. This is a humanity thing. And your presence at this moment represents that. Today there was a memorial service for Mr. Floyd, and I would argue that the mourning goes beyond his physical family. It goes beyond the borders of Minnesota. It affects you and me and others. We may not be able to influence change in Minnesota or New York City or elsewhere, but we can make a difference in Abilene. Am I right about it? And if you look around right now, we have the District Attorney James Hicks here. You have both chiefs here, both Candy Flores and Stan Stanridge. You have other stakeholders here because this is important. You know, I love this shirt. You know, you matter. Well, young man, Marquez, great job. He donated 180 of these shirts. I think Abilene can be different. And you know what? We are different. I want to challenge you to search in your soul and make your own contribution to Abilene, Texas. And don't let those outside or inside our community divide us to create schism and division. And we thank you. But I thank you for the community that we live in, that we don't allow ignorance in our community to be pervasive.
Hello, my name is Shay. I'm not really going to share a testimony. I just have a speech I prepared to share with everybody. Hello, I'm here because I have something to say. The current state of this country has not fell on deaf ears or blind eyes. We want to put as much into this progressive movement as we can by showing our solidarity. As a black young lady in the South and in this country, I've been a victim to racism and prejudice just like many others. But my family always taught me to never become complacent with mistreat or with hate. A quote I found says, Here's to the misfits, the crazy ones, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs and the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the one thing you cannot do is ignore them. Because they change things and they push the human race forward. And while some may see them as crazy, we see genius because the people who think they're crazy enough to change the world are the ones who do. There was a time when we had movements in America that had defied our own government, and from what I've learned, it is our right as Americans to challenge what we feel lacks morality. QEP Newton also said, the revolution has always been in the hands of the young. The young will always inherit the revolution. I believe that no matter how small the step forward it is still a step and it is still forward. So let the marathon continue until justice, peace, liberty, and love for all can fill this world. Do not give up on brown and black kids. It is time for change. America is our home. Do not be driven from it. If we can do this, America will be what it must become.
My name is Kenan James. I'm the senior class president at Abilene High School, and I'm a proud African American here in Abilene. When I started school at Bonham Elementary, I was just a clueless kid in my kindergarten class. I didn't know what racial injustice meant. I didn't know what racial discrimination was. I didn't even know what being black really meant. Ever since my first days of kindergarten, I felt like the black sheep, figuratively and literally. I'd be excluded from games at the playground, but as soon as I got older, I started to get excluded from more and more things. Excluded from things such as, quote unquote, the popular friend group, from having a voice, to even excluded from having a normal education that my white classmates have received. I have encountered numerous racist individuals throughout my whole life, both in the school systems and my personal life. This has followed me all throughout my academic career until junior year, when I finally decided I needed to step up to gain and find my voice. When I decided to run for senior class president, I was passionate and eager to make a change in my school. Shortly after I started to run, I started to receive unexpected backlash from my fellow peers. I was saddened and disappointed by the statements made by students who I thought supported my endeavors. Although distraught by this experience, this encouraged me even more to win, to serve as a voice for not only the class of 2020, but for the African and African American generations of students that follow. Once I became senior class president, I started to observe the lack of diversity and leadership in our school system. I wanted to be the voice not only for myself, but for them. I reach out to y'all to do the best that I can to show my school and community that being oppressed is not easy. We as a black community in America shouldn't be looked at differently just because of the color of our skin. My life shouldn't only matter in certain circumstances, it should always matter.
I appreciate you coming out this evening as we stand together, because I have said early and often that we are better together. I have really considered my words this evening, because I recognize that many of you need to hear something substantive from me. You don't want me just to be a resounding gong up here. We will work with Mayor Anthony Williams to begin ongoing community conversations about police policies, about our customs, about current events, and this notion of humanity that was referenced earlier, recognizing that our collective experiences may be different than yours, but through our differences and through relationship and fellowship, we can ultimately begin that new beginning.
I've had the privilege of serving right here for 35 years. I've arrested black people, white people, Hispanic people. But one thing I've always tried to do is allow God to lead me in how I treat people. And I believe that this is the reason that I'm not bragging by any boast. I cannot boast, because everything that I have, everything that I am came from Him. So I will tell you that I believe that He has allowed my longevity because of the way I've treated people. And I would tell you, working with right here in Abilene, as everyone that I've worked with, have they been perfect? Nope. But I can tell you that a majority of my brothers and sisters uphold what is right and lawful right here in Abilene. This is why we've not had some of the things that you see elsewhere. Am I ignorant to think that some of our people here have not been mistreated? No.
I'm angry over the violence and lawlessness that is being loosed upon our land in response. I feel powerless. I feel powerless to really do anything about this, and I feel like I don't have the answers that fix this. At times I feel afraid of where our country is going, afraid of the response, afraid of what might happen. Sometimes I'm just uncertain of exactly what to say to my black friends, my mixed congregation, my diverse city. And I'm just being honest with you. I'm just sharing my heart. I don't have all the answers. And what I find is sometimes when I open my mouth, I say the wrong thing. And what I say to try to help ends up kind of like irritating somebody. I don't stand in front of you as one who has all the answers. I stand among you, full of questions. But the one thing that I know as I stand before you, I cannot remain silent in the face of injustice any longer.
First, I want to give an honor to God, who's the head of my household. I'm thankful and sad I'm standing in front of you all today. I'm sad because of the circumstance that brought us together. I'm thankful because of the impact it has made and it will continue to make. I want to say this. I want to say this is not a black versus white thing. I want us all to remember that. I want us to understand that. This is not a black versus police thing either. It's bigger than that. It's everybody versus racism. Our nation has came together in light of another tragic situation. It saddens me that a man's life had to be taken for us to come together as one.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Fuentes and I am an Abilenian, born and raised here in Texas. I love my Texas and I love seeing all of your faces out here this evening. It is so encouraging and so beautiful to see so many different colors represented, so many nationalities, so many languages here, one place standing for one reason, and that's for Black Lives Matter. I thank you guys so much for standing with these people who need us right now. And I know not everyone here is a Christian. I know not everyone here is religious, but I want to say we are all people. We all share blood. We all share air. We take care of our bodies the same way. Maybe some more than others. Y'all look jacked. Y'all look good, you know. But you guys are beautiful, and we have to take care of one another. We have to stand up for those who are oppressed and those who don't have a voice. If you see someone who is being hurt or challenged, you are responsible for standing up for them and speaking for them. It is a shame that there are voices in our nation today that are being silenced. And if you see that, you are part of the responsibility to take action and to stand up and speak up for them. And for the Christians here, you have an even bigger responsibility. I share that responsibility with you. Stand up for those in your congregation. Stand up for those who are being oppressed and silenced. You have an obligation.
Thank you. First off, I would like to give a big thank you to Brianna for putting this whole thing on. She definitely had courage at times when I did not. I know we all are aware of the situation with George Floyd, and whenever it came about, it definitely gave me a heavy heart, man. It was hard to even want to get out of bed, to be honest. So as I look out here at all these people gathered for the cause, it makes me proud to have a business in Abilene, to represent Abilene, all the different walks of life, all the different colors, all the different sexes. There's only 2, or maybe there's 4, I don't know. But I'm here to say that I'm really proud of the turnout, man. And again, Brianna and the Rose family, what they're doing, it's a beautiful thing. So you guys here are a testament to that, and you guys should also take pride in that, man, because everyone's not here, but we got a big showing out here, man. It's a lot of people, and it's a blessing to say the least. Lastly, I would like to give a big shout out to my team. For those that do not know, I am Yo Martez. We gave out those shirts for everybody as much as we could. 180 shirts, man. I know everyone didn't get one, but what more can you ask? We're here for the people, we're here for y'all. And I stand up here today representing y'all, and it's on a mirror effect. It's beautiful to see everybody from every different angle of life coming to support the cause. Black lives definitely matter, and on the shirt we have, your lives matter, you matter. Everybody can take a stand, and y'all are here today, so I'm very proud to be a part of this demonstration. Thank y'all very much.
We will not abuse our power like they abused theirs. We want peace, not violence. Long live George Floyd.
You need to speak up on bullies, right? That's how I feel about racism. If you know somebody that's racist, bring them out the closet. Don't be afraid. Bring them out the closet. Out the closet. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're not with me, you're against me. That's how I feel when I wake up every day. If you're not with me, you're against me. That's right. If you know somebody that's racist, and they see him try to cover it up, bring them to the light.
Bring that scum out of the
Bring it to the light. Because I feel like this generation is going to take over and we don't want no more of that racism. We don't want no more racist people in this world. Amen. We're tired of that.
If you're a believer or a non-believer, I want to pray before we leave. Because we came together in God's name. Amen. We met together in the name of Jesus. So let's break out in the name of Jesus as well. By your hands with me. Father God, I thank you for this group, Lord. Lord, I thank you for the people who are moving. Lord, I thank you for those who spend time not moving and now they want to be a part of something that's going to change them. Father God, I lift up the family of not just George Floyd, the family of all those who have fallen at the hands of police officers who fell in the name of injustice. But Lord, I thank you. I thank you for those who are here now. I thank you for those who are coming. I thank you for those who are at home. I thank you for those who are in the offices that are making change happen behind the scenes. Father God, I just pray for each and every person that comes today gets home safely. And that when they're at their homes, at the dinner tables, at the breakfast table, eating out with friends, Lord, I pray that they stop being complacent. I pray that complacency is rooted out, and if Satan wants to stick his hand in it, Lord, I rebuke Satan's name. Father God, I lift you up, and I thank you for each and every person who's here. I thank you for those that will come down the line, and Father God, I thank you for those that sacrifice it all so that we can stand here today. And Lord, allow us to give each other our flowers while we're still living. Lord, I pray that the days and the weeks and the months and the years to come, it doesn't take death to bring love in. Father God, Martin Luther King was about peace, and they shot him. Malcolm X was about an eye for an eye, and they shot him too. Lord, I pray that you just continue to protect us. Protect our children, our mothers, our fathers, our grandparents. And Lord, just continue to do the things that you do, because I understand that you are still on the throne. You are still on the throne, Father. I have no fear, because God is on the throne. Amen. And I lift up all these things in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
Thank you.